When writing your CV, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Each candidate and indeed each application needs a tailored approach. The type of CV you choose can have a huge impact on how successful you are in gaining an interview and piquing the interest of an employer. The purpose of this video today is to talk through the different types of CVs and the advantages and disadvantages of using them both. So first off, a chronological CV. So this tends to focus on your career to date and details your experience on an employer by employer basis in reverse chronological order. So the advantages of using this is that it demonstrates your career progression, and it's actually a favourite format for recruiters who can easily identify the roles and responsibilities for each job. The disadvantages of using this type of format is that it makes gaps in your career history more obvious, and if you're looking at a career change, it's often difficult to articulate your transferable skills. The chronological CV is popular with employers because they can see your career progression. The next one is the skills-based or functional CV. Unlike with a chronological CV, a functional or skills-based layout focuses on your skills and expertise rather than where you've previously worked. The advantages of this is it places the emphasis on what you have to offer as a whole for each skill area rather than your career progression, and it's particularly useful if you've got career gaps or seemingly unrelated experience. If you're changing career direction, it helps the recruiter to see your transferable skills, and it takes the spotlight away from your age. The disadvantages are that if you lack experience, you might struggle to highlight some of your achievements. It can raise questions as to whether you're trying to hide something, and sometimes you're unable to show consistent career progression. A functional or skills-based layout puts your valuable transferable skills at the forefront, and it means that employers can focus on what makes you a good fit for the role, not what you're lacking. A combined or hybrid layout is the next one. With the combined or hybrid layout, it takes the best of both the chronological and functional CV layout. It comes with its downsides, as it could make your CV slightly longer in length, but is actually becoming a more popular layout to use. Indeed, it's one that I tend to use with a lot of my clients. So the advantages, so it enables you to sell your strengths as well as your experience, which is really good when you're actually having to show your value to that future employer. The disadvantages is, as I said before, is around that length compared to that functional or chronological CV. And there could be some challenges if you've got lack of experience or any key achievements. And a combined or hybrid CV is a mixture of both functional and chronological CVs and can be the best of both worlds, but only if it's handled with care. The final two CVs are ones that are a bit more specific to certain job areas. So the first one is around that creative CV, or sometimes known as that infographic CV. So the purpose of that is it was created as a means to stand out from the crowd with more imagery, creative fonts and shapes than a traditional CV. And it's great for showing your creative skills rather than just stating them, especially if you're applying for a role where these are actually a requirement, such as careers within design, marketing, art, for example, as it's a perfect opportunity to create this type of layout. However, as I explained in my previous video, the use of infographics, there are a lot of downsides to this version if used outside of the creative industry. The final one is around academic CVs, and this is the type of CV most commonly used in postgraduate applications, and its focus is much more on the emphasis on the subjects you've studied, projects undertaken, and details of research, expertise, and a list of all your publications. So this should be where you start focusing much more on any research and teaching experience you've had, publications, grants and fellowships, and those kind of things. And it's important to take a step further and tailor your CV so that the content really reflects your audience, so the organisation that you want to work for. So as you can see, with CV layouts, there are lots of different formats that you can use, and it's very much about thinking about the audience that's going to receive your CV and how that layout would then work for that audience.